All right, I'm going to run something by you. What if that 74 days that Joe Biden was talking about is the parameters of what's going on with the Democrats and investigation and all the election stuff? All we keep hearing is how the numbers don't match. That's all we keep hearing. Right now, there are things that are showing that if you follow the down ticket elections and you line it up with the presidential elections, that there are hundreds of thousands of votes in all these different states, that the only way that would actually mathematically work out with the votes that are on paper is if someone voted for Donald Trump and all Democrats, or just Donald Trump with no down ticket votes. That is the only way mathematically there's a bunch of these states are working out, which means if someone's going to vote for Donald Trump, aren't they going to vote down ticket too? It's not just a vote for Donald Trump. If they voted Donald Trump and down ticket Republicans, the Democrats would not have won those races. So what the actual numbers in the vote show is either hundreds of thousands of people just voted Donald Trump and nobody else, or they voted Donald Trump and every Democrat on the down ticket. That is what the numbers are showing. Like in different states across the country, in swing states especially. That's what the numbers are showing. And then you line that up with all the different stories of these polling stations that usually get an average of 7,000 voters in a day, had 40,000 before lunch on the first day. I mean, there were drastic reports of that type stuff happening nationwide. And the final totals, well, they're still counting, but are around 15 million votes less in 2024 than in 2020. I'm not going to bring up Elon Musk and the Starlink satellites and what they were actually contracted in to do for the government. I'm not going to bring that up. I'm just talking the numbers. There's a whole bunch of other red flags in so many different directions. It's ridiculous. But just by the numbers, it's not possible. This election, the way it's written out, is not possible. And then you have Marjorie Taylor Greene predicting the exact number of electoral college votes that Donald Trump was going to end up with, 312, and also predicting almost dead on to Trump winning ultimately by 5 million votes. That's very random, because the experts that make a living predicting these things accurately predicted Kamala Harris winning by 2 points, 3 points, or 4 in Iowa and all these, and they are like never wrong. And in those same states, Pennsylvania, a judge in Pennsylvania made the ruling that anyone who's not in the building at the close of business day does not get to vote. So they turned away thousands and thousands and thousands of voters. That's a fact. That's through the whole state of Pennsylvania, which, by the way, is where Elon Musk bought a really big house sometime in June as his election headquarters in June, long before it was announced he was part of anything. Just saying. But anyway, that's Pennsylvania. And almost simultaneously, Donald Trump is putting a Truth Social post out telling people in California, like he did every other day with a whole bunch of other states, that the votes close at 8 p.m. That's when the polls close. If you are in line, stay in line. They cannot stop you from voting. Those were the Truth Social posts that Donald Trump put out as one of the most important swing states were basically vetoing everyone online when they close the doors, when they close the polls. These are the types of things that there's no debate they will be revisited. There's no debate. So as the Democrats are basically sitting back and letting the investigations go, Donald Trump is appointing people like Matt Gaetz, to Attorney General, a Fox News host to the defense, Kristi Noem as Homeland Security, Kash freaking Patel as a director of the CIA. Kash Patel. Kash Patel is the guy that paid those. Remember, there were 3 witnesses in the whole Biden impeachment. There were the 2 regular witnesses, and then there was Alex Smirnoff and blah, blah, blah. Well, the 2 regular witnesses turned out was all fed essentially Russian propaganda through the Trump campaign. And they were paid by the Trump campaign. The person who paid them is Kash Patel. Kash Patel paid witnesses to falsify testimony and provide fake documents as evidence and swear to it, paid them. He's appointed as the head of the CIA. Now, do you think that the Democrats, with all of this on the line, with a prosecutor running for president and with a president that has a default presidential immunity, the immunity that was secured by Donald Trump's argument that a president of the United States needs to have the power to send SEAL Team 6 to exterminate, if necessary, unalive people who put this country in danger. He also argued, his legal team also argued, that they need to be able to imprison political adversaries or country adversaries or anyone that is proven or assumed, because remember, he was talking about I should be able to throw anybody in jail for any reason because I'm the president. If it was detrimental to the country, if it was a threat to the United States of America. Now, we're talking about a presidential candidate that recently had the second in charge of President Vladimir Putin send a message through Russian state TV saying that Donald Trump got help from Russia and that's why he's in the White House, or he won the election, and he owes us, so be sure to pay up. They did that in public. The day after, of course, they showed naked pictures of Donald Trump's wife. That's happening. Now, do you think the Democrats, with all of this evidence, are actually going to turn around and walk away knowing that they have, well, now 69 days to actually solve these problems, as Joe Biden said himself? To clean this up, to fix these problems, all of that in his speech. And did you notice what happened with Joe Biden today, meeting with Donald Jackass Trump himself in the White House? He was laughing. He was laughing because Donald Trump is exposing who he is and all the scams he's been lying about Project 2025 not being anything to do with him and not being the actual purpose for the Trump thing. And now, since he got elected, Steve Bannon literally is on camera going, it was always the plan. And Donald Trump himself and people around him going, yeah, that's our playbook. That's what we're doing, Project 2025. They're telling all of their voters before the election is actually finalized, before all the investigations on the election are completed, they are telling their voters who they are. So we're going to have the Democrats and all the investigators that come up and say, this is what we found, this is what we found, this is what we found, and there is over 100 million or whatever the votes that are missing is. I don't know how many of you actually called to check your vote. I know I did. Mine counted, but a couple of my friends didn't. A lot of my followers didn't. So there are things that need to be investigated. Now, what's going to end up happening, in my opinion, is the Democrats and the Republicans that basically been working with the Democrats will be redeemed. Kamala Harris will take the White House, and it will be a chapter in American history where democracy, justice, and the structure of what we're built on stayed strong and made it through the biggest attack on our democracy ever. That's what's coming. And the superhero capes are going to come out. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay educated. All right? Be diligent, but be kind. We're all in this together. We can't ever forget that.